talk about pain. You know, pain is immeasurable. People think in order to get into a coma that you have to get hurt physically. I'm a nurse, and I want to tell you it is not true. People can go through psychological pain. First of all, we as humans are not created to endure and experience certain levels of pain, and it's a lot of affliction and infliction. I have seen people, and the lights is on but nobody's home, the body is functioning but nobody's there. Young, very young people. Some people have gotten hurt, but some people it was not a physical hurt. Some people have also hurt themselves with drugs and went into a comatose state and never came out. And also psychologically, people a lot, you're not created to take abuse. I'm not saying Bobby Christina was physically abused by Nick Gordon. Sometimes trauma, for me, like I was saying in my previous video about roaches, that traumatized me to where I had stuffed tissue in my ears as a child, and years later it grew into a huge fungi. There is trauma in certain things you witness and you see that can affect you, have a serious effect on you in life. It's very serious. To guard, to protect your gates and your senses and things like that. It's certain things that we've seen. This particular family member that I was talking about, something about her also bothered me. She said she went to Gary, Indiana to visit, and she walked in on a man having oral sex with a baby. And I was like, "Did you report? Did you call the police?" "Oh, that ain't my business. I don't want to. I ain't got nothing to do." I said, "Well, why the hell would you put that burden and say that to somebody?" And to me, when you don't, when God, if you see something like that and you don't report it, the trauma that baby is suffering and shit like that, man, that's crazy. And these are the people that grow up, and end up in these situations in these nursing homes and stuff like that. I'm not saying it happened to all of them, but that abuse, it was this lady over here, this little 3-year old girl. This was supposed to be a great auntie. She 50 or 60 something years old. One day I was sitting on the couch with my husband, and I heard that woman screaming and yelling, calling this little girl, "You little bitch, you little hoe, shut your mouth, shut up." I jumped up. I couldn't believe what the fuck I was hearing. I ran to that damn door. I couldn't believe it. I said, "Did she just cuss that little girl out?" And I had to ask my neighbor, and she came out defending it. I said, "That's a little kid. You don't do that. I'm not finna sit here and watch no child get abused, walk in on a man doing that to no little girl, no little kid, and I don't say something." You have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to yourself, to the Lord, to the child. Even shit, that motherfucker ain't got to see you. That motherfucker need to be in jail. He don't ever need to be out. It's sad. A baby, nigga, that shit is sad. But this what people uphold in our community. That's why a lot of black people ain't gonna be shit. Some people ain't never gonna be fucking right at the end of the day. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. Some people ain't gonna never get it right to the end. It's the truth. And this is a sad state of affairs of pain. Living in this pain and being in pain. That's what I'm saying. Bobby Christina could have suffered something psychologically. She probably really loved this guy and felt like he couldn't love her the way she needed to be loved or deserved to be loved. And that could have hurted her so bad, besides losing her mother. I know she was in pain from losing her mother because I was also in pain when my mother passed. It's very traumatic. It is very depressing. I had lost my voice for like 3 weeks from crying so much. Pain affects people in different ways. I don't like how the media is doing all this scrutiny over her and over this guy, Nick Gordon. He's young, she's young, everybody was young, and people make mistakes, okay? People make mistakes and people got to grow. And I don't like how people have all these comments to say. People get fucking hurt out here. People have lost their children, their kids. They're burying their daughters. They're burying their fathers. I mean, the fathers too, brothers, sons. And everybody got something negative to say. Speak life. I'm very, very hurt, very disheartened over her situation. And he might be guilty of not really paying attention and loving her. I've been in those situations, and I remember the person who I fell in love with, who I really love. I remember when I found out this nigga got married on me, how my heart, it felt like somebody had their heart and snatched it out. And I mean, I felt like that for days. And when that happens to women or to a person who loves, you can end up with heart infections. I know a person who got a myocardial infection around the heart, and it was due to the breakup of their her marriage. And you know you can have heart attacks. People don't understand stress, what it can do. And everybody acting like like a woman having all these kids outside of marriage. That's painful. That ain't nothing that is so, for a man, especially black woman and black man, sit here and put a woman down, talk about her, because she got fake hair on. That's all she know. She probably didn't have a mother washed her hair and took care of her hair. They don't know. You're supposed to be the bigger person and pull them to the side and say something. You don't get on YouTube and talk shit about them because they're not watching it. The people that you talking to ain't gonna hear. They don't give a damn about what you say. They used to the pain. The pain done already hurt them. They beyond hurt. They can't even hurt no more. That's why we have to be careful as a human being to what we're doing, the cause and effect. How people running out here to Africa killing elephants, giraffes, and all that. You causing pain to this earth. That blood is spilling into this earth. It's these souls are crying out, but nobody sees it. Everybody feeling okay to do all this painful stuff to people and talk crazy, just like my neighbor. You know, had the nerve to text me talking about the police over there. It said it's okay for her to double park in front of her house. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. You double park all you want, because bitch, if it's okay for you, it's sure gonna be okay for me. Because bitch, when I park in front of your house, I'm gonna park for a few motherfucking days. I don't give a fuck. Just like you don't. So you saying that to justify how you should park and cause pain and confusion and problems for anybody looking for a parking spot? Who does that? Why do people feel like it's okay to speak all this death and ill will over Bobby Christina? Oh, she need to die and all that. Stop saying that. What happened to speaking life? It's terrible. It is so terrible to be in the public eye because of opinion. I believe what's happening to her happened to her mother. I believe people, the ill will of people mouth created Whitney's death also. Because people was always talking about her being on drugs and how Bobby put her on drugs and all that. But people, little did they know the truth and what was happening. And I ain't seen one person apologize or come out and say, "Oh, that's messed up. I was saying it was Bobby, and it wasn't him. It was Whitney's brother all this time." Even Whitney's mother sat by the brother while he said that, how him and his sister did drugs. And back in those days, I remember families doing drugs, grandmothers and aunties and uncles and all that. Not thank God I ain't see it in my family, but I remember family members doing that, and it's painful. It's very painful. We do so much stuff, and it's like, no, everybody's immune to pain now, to correction. There's no correction. Nobody wants to be accountable. Nobody wants to um, be responsible for the pain they're causing by speaking ill will and saying negative things, abusing somebody with words and with emotions and all that. And we just need to be mindful and take notes of these things and be careful. And another thing about that is when you give it, you be prepared to get it. Even though you can give it to another woman or another man and all that, but be prepared to see it through your children and they kids too. You're gonna see it again. Just like my grandfather had to see it through his children and through his grandkids, the pain that he caused my grandmother, ain't no family exempt from that. What goes around comes around.